VASKOLG, Bijoux Sculptures Paris Haute Couture Autumn-Winter 2014 Full Show by Fashion Channel. The VASKOLG, Bijoux Sculptures Paris Haute Couture Autumn-Winter 2014 presentation stands as one of the most unusual and artistically daring showcases of the couture season. More than a conventional fashion show, the event blurred the boundaries between jewelry, sculpture, performance art, and haute couture. Presented during Paris Haute Couture Week and captured beautifully by Fashion Channel, the show introduced audiences to a world where accessories became monumental body structures and fashion transformed into visual storytelling. Created by designer Olga Kiwirsky, founder of the avant-garde jewelry and sculptural fashion label VASKOLG, the Autumn-Winter 2014 collection represented a powerful exploration of identity, ritual, mysticism, technology, and craftsmanship. The runway presentation demonstrated how wearable art can move beyond decoration and become an emotional and architectural extension of the human body. The vision behind VASKOLG. VASKOLG is not a traditional fashion house focused primarily on garments. Instead, the label specializes in bijoux sculptures, sculptural jewelry creations that combine artistic experimentation with couture craftsmanship. Olga Kiwirsky developed a creative identity rooted in fantasy, architecture, spirituality, and cross-cultural inspiration. The brand became known for dramatic pieces that merge fashion accessories with art installation concepts. Rather than designing jewelry meant simply to complement clothing, VASKOLG creates statement structures that dominate the silhouette and redefine the entire look. Necklaces become armor, headpieces resemble ceremonial crowns, and body adornments evolve into sculptural constructions. For the Autumn-Winter 2014 collection, Kiwirsky pushed these ideas even further, creating a visual universe inspired by travel experiences, tribal symbolism, futuristic aesthetics, and emotional transformation. Inspiration and artistic themes. One of the central inspirations behind the collection reportedly came from journeys through India and encounters with ceremonial ornamentation, handcrafted textiles, spiritual iconography, and traditional decorative arts. These influences appeared throughout the show in the form of layered textures, intricate embellishments, symbolic shapes, and richly detailed craftsmanship. The collection titled I explored themes connected to vision, awareness, protection, mystery, and spiritual observation. Many designs resembled protective amulets or futuristic armor worn by mythological characters from another dimension. The recurring use of eye-like motifs symbolized intuition and inner consciousness while also creating a slightly surreal atmosphere. At the same time, the collection reflected a futuristic imagination. Metallic structures, industrial textures, and technological references suggested a dialogue between ancient ritual traditions and modern innovation. This contrast became one of the most compelling aspects of the show. Haute couture meets sculpture. Unlike many couture presentations centered on luxurious gowns and tailoring, VASKOLG approached haute couture from a completely different perspective. The garments often served as a foundation for the sculptural jewelry pieces rather than the main attraction themselves. Oversized necklaces extended over the shoulders and chest like architectural frames. Metallic constructions wrapped around the body with dramatic precision. Massive collars transformed the neck into a sculptural centerpiece. Elaborate headpieces created striking silhouettes that immediately captured the audience's attention. Some pieces appeared almost impossible to wear in daily life, emphasizing that the collection was intended as wearable art rather than commercial fashion. Yet despite their dramatic scale, the creations maintained elegance and craftsmanship associated with haute couture traditions. The balance between fantasy and technical construction demonstrated Kiwirsky's unique artistic approach. Every element seemed carefully engineered to create harmony between movement, proportion, and visual impact. Materials and craftsmanship. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Autumn-Winter 2014 collection was the extraordinary variety of materials used throughout the designs. VASKOLG combined luxurious couture techniques with experimental artistic materials, resulting in creations that looked both ancient and futuristic. The collection featured metallic components, crystals, lava stones, leather, feathers, silk sari fabrics, ceramics, wood, embroidered textiles, gold and silver threadwork, Certain pieces incorporated technological details and unconventional construction methods, reinforcing the futuristic identity of the collection. Every item appeared handcrafted with meticulous attention to detail. The textures created depth and dimensionality under the runway lighting, making the pieces appear alive as the models moved across the catwalk. The combination of rough natural materials with polished metallic surfaces created an intriguing visual tension between raw organic beauty and industrial sophistication. The runway presentation. The Paris Haute Couture runway setting amplified the theatrical power of the collection. Fashion Channel's full show video captures the immersive atmosphere of the presentation, where lighting, music, styling, and movement all contributed to the artistic narrative. The models walked slowly and confidently, allowing viewers to absorb the complexity of each sculptural creation. Their expressions remained intense and almost mysterious, matching the spiritual and futuristic themes of the collection. Hair styling was sleek and minimal in order to emphasize the oversized accessories and sculptural headpieces. Makeup often highlighted the eyes, reinforcing the symbolic theme of vision and awareness central to the collection. The soundtrack added another layer of drama, blending atmospheric electronic tones with cinematic energy. Together, these elements transformed the runway into something closer to an art performance than a traditional fashion show. Paris Haute Couture context. The Autumn-Winter 2014 Haute Couture season in Paris featured legendary maisons alongside experimental designers pushing fashion into new artistic territories. Within this prestigious environment, VASKOLG stood out because of its highly conceptual approach. Traditional couture often celebrates femininity, elegance, and technical garment construction. VASKOLG instead explored emotional symbolism and sculptural experimentation. This artistic boldness positioned the brand within the avant-garde segment of couture culture. The presentation demonstrated that haute couture can serve not only as luxury fashion but also as a platform for artistic expression and conceptual storytelling. Fashion critics and independent fashion publications praised the originality of the collection, particularly its fusion of craftsmanship, fantasy, and performance art aesthetics. Symbolism and emotional storytelling. One reason the collection remains memorable years later is its emotional depth and symbolic imagery. Some looks conveyed strength and protection through armor-like constructions. Others suggested vulnerability through delicate textures and flowing materials. The interplay between darkness and luminosity created a constant emotional contrast throughout the show. The sculptural accessories often appeared ritualistic, as though belonging to fictional civilizations or futuristic spiritual ceremonies. This imaginative quality encouraged viewers to interpret the collection emotionally rather than simply aesthetically. The I concept reinforced ideas of perception and transformation. Many pieces seemed designed not merely to decorate the body but to alter identity itself. The models became characters inhabiting an alternate artistic universe. Fashion as performance art. The VASKOLG Autumn-Winter 2014 presentation reflected a broader movement within contemporary fashion where runway shows increasingly embraced performance art and conceptual installation techniques. Rather than focusing solely on wearability or commercial trends, the collection emphasized atmosphere, symbolism, and visual storytelling. This approach aligned VASKOLG more closely with gallery art and theatrical performance than mainstream fashion. The dramatic proportions and experimental constructions challenged viewers to reconsider the relationship between the body and ornamentation. Jewelry was no longer secondary to clothing, it became the central artistic medium. This philosophy helped distinguish VASKOLG from many other couture presentations of the time. Olga Kiewarski's creative identity. Olga Kiewarski's work consistently demonstrates a fascination with transformation, mythology, spirituality, and handcrafted artistry. Her creations often combine romanticism with futuristic design language. By blending ancient influences with modern techniques, Kiewarski developed a signature aesthetic that feels timeless yet experimental. Her work appeals strongly to audiences interested in avant-garde fashion, conceptual design, and wearable sculpture. The Autumn-Winter 2014 collection represented one of the clearest expressions of this artistic philosophy. Every look contributed to a cohesive narrative universe built around mystery, power, and imagination. Influence and legacy. Although VASKOLG operates within a niche artistic fashion space, The impact of the Autumn-Winter 2014 collection continues to resonate among fans of experimental couture and sculptural fashion. The show demonstrated how fashion can transcend commercial limitations and function as a powerful artistic medium. Its combination of craftsmanship, fantasy, and conceptual storytelling continues to inspire designers, stylists, photographers, and fashion artists. In today's fashion landscape, where wearable art, digital aesthetics, and experimental runway concepts have become increasingly popular, the VASKOLG collection appears remarkably forward-thinking. The dramatic silhouettes and body sculptures anticipated later trends in avant-garde couture, editorial styling, and futuristic fashion photography. The importance of Fashion Channel archives. Fashion Channel's preservation of runway presentations like VASKOLG Autumn-Winter 2014 provides fashion enthusiasts and researchers with valuable historical documentation. The full show video allows modern audiences to experience the pacing, movement, lighting, and emotional atmosphere of the original presentation. Unlike still photography, runway footage reveals how the sculptural pieces interacted with motion and space. Close-up camera angles also highlight the extraordinary craftsmanship involved in creating each design. Viewers can appreciate textures, embellishments, and structural details that might otherwise remain unnoticed. For younger fashion audiences discovering the collection years later, the video serves as both inspiration and education about the diversity of artistic expression within haute couture. Conclusion. The VASKOLG Bijoux Sculptures Paris Haute Couture Autumn-Winter 2014 full show remains a fascinating example of fashion as immersive art. Through sculptural jewelry, symbolic storytelling, and avant-garde presentation techniques, Olga Kiworski created a collection that challenged traditional definitions of couture. The show celebrated imagination, craftsmanship, and individuality while exploring deeper themes of identity, ritual, and transformation. Its futuristic yet spiritual aesthetic created a visual experience unlike conventional runway presentations. Captured by Fashion Channel, the collection continues to inspire viewers with its fearless creativity and artistic ambition. More than a fashion show, VASKOLG Autumn-Winter 2014 stands as a moving gallery of wearable sculptures, a moment where couture, jewelry, and performance merged into one unforgettable artistic vision.